Let's talk about setting up an aquarium, but not in the way you might think. We're going to explore a whole new approach today, one that treats the hobby less like a random shopping spree and more like you're an architect designing a blueprint for success. So, yeah, let's dive right in. You know how it is. We all start with this perfect vision in our head, right? This vibrant, peaceful, little underwater world just thriving in our living room. But the actual path to getting there, well, it can be a lot more complicated than we first expect. I mean, you can just see it, can't you? The colorful fish just gliding through crystal clear water, beautiful plants swaying gently in the current. It's basically a living piece of art. And that is the dream that gets so many of us hooked on this hobby in the first place. But then reality hits, and that peaceful dream can quickly turn into a full-blown panic. You're fighting these stubborn algae blooms that just won't go away. Your fish seems stressed out. Maybe that beautiful angelfish you bought is now terrorizing your poor little tetras. And the equipment, oh man, it's just a confusing mess of tubes and wires. You end up spending all your time troubleshooting instead of actually enjoying the view. It's a super common story, and believe me, it is incredibly frustrating. So why does this happen so often? Well, the answer usually comes down to how we've all been taught to set up a tank. It's this scattered, piece-by-piece method that honestly sets a lot of people up for failure right from day one. No, really, think about it. You buy your fish from one shop, the filter from another. You order the lights online, and you get the rocks from a third place. Suddenly, you're not just a hobbyist anymore, you're a general contractor, trying to make all these separate parts work together. On top of that, the person in the store tells you one thing about filtration, while some popular YouTuber is telling you the complete opposite. It's a tough job for an expert, let alone someone just starting out. And this right here just lays out the difference perfectly. The old way is fragmented and reactive. You're always just putting out fires. This new model we're exploring is unified and proactive. It's designed from the ground up for a way, way higher chance of success. So what is this new model exactly? Well, you can think of it as an all-in-one service. And it's a real game changer because it treats an aquarium as a single interconnected system, not just a collection of random parts. This approach brings everything together under one roof. A single provider helps you plan out the livestock, the hardware, and the physical layout all at the same time, making sure every single piece is chosen specifically to support all the others. And the philosophy here is so important. As the quote says, this isn't about selling you some cheap starter kit that's just going to crash and burn in a few months. The focus is on long-term stability and creating a healthy, thriving community of animals right from the start. Okay, so that's the big idea, but how does it actually work in practice? How do you connect these core components, the animals, the gear, and the design, so that it all works together? Well, it follows a really simple and logical order. Instead of, buying a cool-looking filter and then trying to find fish that might work with it, you flip that entire process on its head. You start with the life, then you pick the life support, and finally you design the environment. So step one is all about the animals. Before anything else is even looked at, the entire plan is centered on their needs. Are they peaceful or aggressive? What do they eat? How big are they actually going to get? This means the aquarium is built for its inhabitants, not the other way around. Then, and only then, you move on to the equipment. In this model, the filter and the lights aren't just afterthoughts you grab on the way out of the store. They are foundational elements chosen specifically to support the community of animals you just planned out. And that brings us to a really critical term, bioload. Now, it sounds technical, but it's really simple. It's just the amount of waste your fish and other critters are going to produce. If your filter can't handle the bioload, say you've got a tiny filter but you're keeping a few messy goldfish, your water quality is eventually going to crash. It's inevitable. By planning this from the start, you're building a system with the right size engine for the job. See, this is how you prevent those nightmares we talked about earlier. Unstable water? A lot of the time, that's just an undersized filter. Those crazy algae blooms? That could easily be lighting that's way too intense for your setup, basically just farming algae for you. Matching the equipment proactively is your absolute best defense. And finally, the aquascape. The rocks, the wood, the substrate. This stuff isn't just decoration. A really well-designed layout creates proper water circulation, it gets rid of those dead spots where waste builds up, and it provides the perfect environment for your fish and your plants to thrive. It's truly functional art. So, when you bring all of these carefully planned elements together, you're not just assembling a glass box with water in it. You are actually orchestrating the creation of a balanced, stable ecosystem. So what does all this mean for you, the hobbyist? Well, it means you get a much clearer path from that initial dream to a successful real-life tank. It makes decisions a lot simpler, you'll run into way fewer of those discouraging early-stage problems, and your chances for long-term success just skyrocket. And this all brings us to a final big picture thought. This integrated model really suggests a shift in our mindset. Maybe the most successful aquariums aren't just collections of products that we buy off a shelf. Maybe they're complete systems that we have to thoughtfully build. It's a powerful idea to think about. Thanks so much for tuning in.